And when you finally conquer your fears, you'll look back at the edge of that cliff and realize that the only thing that was ever standing in your way was yourself. You have a choice. You can let your fears control you, or you can face them head-on and show the world what you're truly capable of. The choice is yours, and the consequences are life-changing. Are you ready to take that first step? A big hello to everybody and welcome to this video on overcoming fear and anxiety. My name is Sarah, and today, we're going to talk about a topic that affects millions of people around the world. I chose this topic because I myself have struggled with fear and anxiety for years, and I know firsthand how difficult it can be to live with these emotions. But I also know that it's possible to overcome them, and that's what we're going to focus on today. Before starting this video, I would love to thank Sajib for giving me this super things to explain. Imagine for a moment that you're standing on the edge of a cliff, looking down at the rocky terrain below. Your heart is racing, your palms are sweaty, and your mind is filled with thoughts of what could go wrong. Maybe you're afraid of falling, or maybe you're just overwhelmed by the sheer height of the cliff. Either way, you're paralyzed by fear, unable to move or make a decision. This is what it can feel like to live with fear and anxiety. It's like you're constantly standing on the edge of a cliff, unsure of what's going to happen next. Maybe you're afraid of social situations, or maybe you're afraid of the future. Whatever it is, it's holding you back from living your life to the fullest. But here's the thing. Fear and anxiety are just emotions. They're not reality. And the good news is that you have the power to control them. You can learn to overcome your fears and live a life that's free from anxiety. So, how do you do it? How do you overcome your fears and anxieties? Well, there are several strategies you can use. And I'm going to share some of them with you today. Face your fears head-on. Facing your fears head-on can be a daunting task, but it's the most effective way to overcome them. Let's meet a young woman named Emily who's been afraid of public speaking for as long as she can remember. Emily knows that her fear is holding her back from achieving her dreams, but she's not sure where to start. She decides to take small steps to confront her fear. First, Emily joins a public speaking group that meets once a week. At first, she's nervous and feels like everyone is judging her. But as she keeps going to the group and practicing her speeches, she starts to feel more confident. Next, Emily volunteers to give a presentation at work. She's nervous, but she prepares thoroughly and delivers the presentation with confidence. Finally, Emily decides to give a speech at a local event. This is the biggest audience she's ever spoken in front of, but she's prepared and confident. When she finishes her speech, she feels a sense of accomplishment that she's never felt before. Emily knows that she still has work to do, but by facing her fears head-on, she's already come so far. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is all about being present in the moment and focusing on your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Let's meet John, a successful businessman who's been feeling increasingly anxious lately. John decides to try mindfulness to help him manage his emotions. John starts by finding a quiet place to sit and closing his eyes. He takes a few deep breaths and focuses on the sensation of the air moving in and out of his body. At first, his mind is racing with thoughts about work and his personal life, but he keeps coming back to his breath. Over time, John finds that he's able to focus more on the present moment and less on his worries. He starts to notice the small details around him, like the sound of birds outside his window or the texture of the carpet under his feet. John also learns to accept his thoughts and feelings without judgment, which helps him manage his anxiety. By practicing mindfulness every day, John feels more centered and focused, and he's able to approach challenges with a calmer, more focused mindset. Seek professional help. Sometimes, facing your fears head-on and practicing mindfulness aren't enough. That's where seeking professional help comes in. Let's meet Sarah, a woman who's always been afraid of flying. Sarah has never let her fear stop her from traveling, but on her most recent flight, she had a panic attack and felt like she couldn't breathe. Sarah knew she needed help. Sarah makes an appointment with a therapist who specializes in treating anxiety. At their first session, the therapist asks Sarah about her fear of flying and how it affects her life. Sarah explains that she's been afraid of flying since she was a child, and that her fear is related to a traumatic experience she had on a plane. The therapist listens attentively and helps Sarah identify the root cause of her fear. Together, they develop a treatment plan that includes relaxation techniques, cognitive behavioral therapy, and exposure therapy. Over the course of several sessions, Sarah learns to manage her anxiety in a variety of ways. She practices deep breathing and progressive muscle relaxation to help her relax when she's feeling anxious. She also learns to challenge her negative thoughts and replace them with more positive ones. Finally, the therapist helps Sarah face her fear of flying by gradually exposing her to the things that make her anxious, like airplanes and airports. Sarah is amazed by how much progress she's made in just a few weeks, and she feels confident that she can overcome. There is nothing like society. You are a society because society is made by humans, and humans are never made by society. Break it and go fast because you are really enough. You are for yourself because if you want to love others and do other jobs, you also need to have yourself properly. Fear and anxiety can be paralyzing, but they're not unbeatable. You have the power to take control of your emotions and overcome your fears. By facing your fears head-on, practicing mindfulness, and seeking professional help when necessary, you can learn to manage your anxiety and live a fulfilling life. Remember, the only thing standing in your way is yourself. So take that first step and show the world what you're truly capable of. Life is too short to let fear hold you back. Good luck.